What is up, everybody? We are here with our next episode of the Mad Titan Shadow spoilers, and this one is for the Adam Warlock hero. I'm Rob from playstyle games, and if you have not been made aware, a lot of the cards from the campaign box has been spoiled and revealed online, so we're going to go through them and take a deep look at all the different cards. We've already done Monica Rambeau in Spectrum, so let's take a look at Adam Warlock himself. So, Adam Warlock is a mystic, 11 hit points, hand size of 6, 3 recovery. He has the avatar of life. During deck building, your deck must include an equal number of cards from all 4 aspects. You cannot include more than 1 copy of any non-Adam Warlock card. So what this means is, essentially, you got your 15 signature cards, and then you have 25 other spaces for your other aspects. So you must have 5 justice, 5 aggression, 5 leadership, 5 protection, and 5 basic cards to build up the rest of your deck. You cannot have duplicates of any card in your deck. So this would be a much more interesting deck building opportunity for this character. His action is discard a card from your hand, remove a status card from Adam Warlock. So he can remove stun or confuse automatically, basically, from himself when he's an alter ego. Looking over to his hero form, he's a 1/1/2, and his ability is Battle Mage. Discard 1 card from his hand, once per phase. If it's an aggression card, deal 2 damage. If it's a justice card, remove 2 threat. Protection, heal 1 damage from an ally. For leadership, give a hero +1 to all their stats for this round. So he's very versatile in that he can take any card from his hand that's an aspect card and turn it into something useful, even if he didn't need it for this particular moment. Very powerful ability. Let's look at some of his signature cards. Pip the Troll. 2-cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 2 health. He's also a mystic. He has toughness, and this is where his ability really shines. While Pip the Troll is in your hand, he gains an interrupt. When the player is attacked, spend 1 energy and 1 mental resource to put Pip the Troll into play under that player's control. So basically, if someone's attacked, say you're attacked, or more important, say your friend is attacked, you can actually play Pip out quickly to throw him in there. He has toughness, so he'll take the hit for you from whoever's being hit. So that's actually a pretty cool way to kind of block a hit by just throwing an ally in front of it, essentially. Soul World, another very powerful card. And this is a location. After your deck runs out of cards, place 1 soul counter here. Alter ego action. Exhaust the soul world and remove 1 counter from it. Heal all damage from your identity. So this basically is a full heal as long as you got an alter ego and you run through your deck once. So you can see that Adam Warlock probably wants to run through his deck to get some of these soul counters. That way he can just flip down and full heal up automatically. Comic Staff, 2-cost upgrade. Just an exhausted to generate a wild resource. Pretty straightforward. Nothing much to say about it. It's a resource card. Warlock's Cape, another 2-cost upgrade. After you resolve Adam Warlock's Battle Mage ability, that's his ability to discard a card, you can exhaust the cape to ready Adam Warlock. So it's another way to ready yourself as long as you use your ability. Cosmic Ward, this is an upgrade. When you reveal a treachery card, cancel its when revealed effects and discard it. Then discard Cosmic Ward. So this has 1 pro and 1 con to it. It's a pro in the sense that it'll stay out in play, so you don't have to like keep it in your hand when, you know, like kind of like how you would an enhanced Spidey Sense or those kind of cards to cancel treachery cards. But the con to it is a forced interrupt, meaning it has to happen. The next time you flip a treachery card, it's going to cancel it regardless of what it is, even if it wasn't that bad of a card. So that's the one downside to this card. It is a cool way to cancel something, but it hurts you in the sense that you don't get to choose really what you actually get to cancel with it. And you have 2 of those. Mystic Senses is a superpower upgrade, and pretty much when you use your Battle Mage ability, draw a card. So discard a card to use an ability, draw a card right back up. And there's 2 of them, so you can actually use both. So you discard 1 card, activate your ability, draw 2 cards from it. Karmic Blast, attack, superpower, another potential death focus user. Deal 4 damage to an enemy and discard up to 4 cards from the top of your deck. Deal 1 additional damage to that enemy for each different aspect discarded this way. So, 4 different aspects, it can go up to 2 to 8 if you're lucky. And more importantly, it's blowing through your deck, so you got 4 less cards in your deck. And you have 3 of those. We have Cosmic Awareness, which is an awesome superpower. It's a 2-cost event to remove 3 threat, and same thing, discard 4 cards, remove additional threat, so potential to go up to a 2 for 7 threat if you're lucky. And it's, again, if this is a pretty good card, so another death focus user definitely with all these superpower cards in their pool. And again, another way to just burn through your deck as fast as you can. Quantum Magic is a spell card. Choose a card in your discard pile, add it to your hand. Simple as that. Makes sense because you're blowing through so many cards by discarding cards that you may want to get one of those cards back into your hand. So it makes sense to actually have such ability to fetch those kind of cards. And he has 2 copies of that. And that's his signature card. So you can see he's all about discarding cards for his effects, so he can blow through his cards much quicker. He gets around to using Soul World and really kind of getting that insurance that he can just flip down and full heal whenever he needs to. Let's look at some of the other cards that come in his set. First, we'll look at his obligation and all of that. So his obligation is Regeneration Cycle. Flip and Exhaust, it's pretty standard. Then he also has discard the top 5 cards of your deck, place 1 threat on the main scheme for each different aspect, discard this way. So just like how you can use that way to gain extra effects for your spells, this one can do potentially 4 threat on the main scheme, and if you're at a bad time, that can really screw you up. His Nemesis minion is the Magus. 2 scheme, 2 attack, 5 health, quick strike, and toughness. And whenever he activates against you, discard the top 5 cards of your deck. So he's also helping push through your deck, but also in a bad sense in that you're really kind of blowing through your deck, and every time he activates, it's just gonna get more and more cards out. Can't really see much of it, but the Universal Church of Truth is the side scheme, and it has a forced response. After a player resets their deck, exhaust that player's identity and stun it. So this card is really an interesting way because Adam Warlock wants to exhaust his deck, but this side scheme punishes you for exhausting your deck by making you exhaust it and stunning you for it. And it's 2 threat per, so it's not that much in terms of threat, and it does have an acceleration icon on it. You also get a Zealot of Truth. 1 scheme, 2 attack, 4 health. Looks a bit like a Ninja Turtle, really. But threat cannot be removed from the Universal Church of Truth side scheme. So basically, this minion is stopping you from dealing with that side scheme we just saw. And we have 2 of those. And then the last card is Cosmic Inquisition, which looks almost like a Cosmic Encounter-like game. Insight 2, that's pretty hard. If the Universal Church of Truth side scheme is in play, discard the top 10 cards of your deck, so it blows a quarter of your deck right away. Otherwise, search your encounter deck, discard pile, and the set aside area for Universal Church of Truth and reveal it. Shuffle the encounter deck. So basically, Cosmic Inquisition will either pull the side scheme back into play, or you lose 10 cards off your deck. That's pretty intense. We have aggression card, Marvel Boy. Let's not talk about this art style. Let's not. Okay, let's just pretend that that picture isn't what we are looking at. 2-cost ally, 0 thought, 2 attack, 2 health. When a Marvel Boy attacks, spend the physical resource, it gains piercing and ranged. I mean, okay. I guess if aggression needs a way to deal with tough and retaliate, maybe. Not exactly, blowing me away with awesomeness. Especially that art. The In-Betweener. Now, these are a few cards that we've seen. We've seen some spoilers already. The Cosmic Entity cards. And the way they work is, you play it and you shuffle it into the encounter deck. How this works with the different card packs, I don't know. Obviously it works better if you have like card sleeves that are like opaque, so like it's hard to know which one's which. But if you don't, you'll see the blue versus the orange every time. When revealed, deal 2 damage to the villain and remove this card from the game. So initially when I looked at these cards, and there's one for each aspect, it's pretty crap. I mean, it looks lackluster because it's 2-cost event to deal 2 damage to the villain eventually at some point. But what makes it interesting is when you use this card for Adam Warlock. Remember, it removes this card from the game. That means it never goes back into your deck. That means your deck, which is 40 cards, is now 39 cards. You do one for each aspect, guess what? Your deck is now 36 cards, which makes it even closer to that Soul World ability. So basically, you're thinning your deck out so that you can recharge yourself to get that full heal. And that's where it plays. Do I see anybody else besides Adam Warlock using this card? Probably not. I'll be honest. I really don't. The only other thing that it's good for, potentially, is that it'll clog up the encounter deck if you really need to, like, someone like Ronan who has a lot of bad cards. Maybe you want to clog it up, but that's just a stretch. I think this is going to be an Adam Warlock only card. Magic Attack, which is a really cool idea of a spell. 1-cost event, only for Mystics. So I believe at this point it is Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, and Adam Warlock are the only Mystic heroes we have. Choose an enemy and discard up to 5 cards. Deal 1 damage to the enemy for each card discarded this way. So you get to choose how many cards to discard to do the damage for it. So you can do 5 damage, 1 for 5, but you lose 5 cards. Is that worth it for you? But for Adam Warlock, it is. But for other people, it might not be. So that's a cool little quick damage spell. Uppercut. Not really sure why they gave us Uppercut in this deck, but it's there. It's an old card. Combat Training, of course. Audacity is a new physical resource. After you spend this card, deal 1 damage to the villain. So it's a 1-cost wild resource that gets to do 1 damage to the villain. This is also cool because it can technically pop tough as well. So, pretty cool way to kind of deal with that for aggression as well. For Justice, we see Quasar. 3-cost ally, 1 threat, 2 attack, 3 health, aerial, and a guardian. Response: after Quasar enters play, remove 1 threat from each scheme in play. So he's almost like a Squirrel Girl for threat, which is okay. It's definitely good in certain scenarios that have a lot of side schemes. You can deal like maybe like a Nebula, like a Red Skull, like even Ronin has quite a few handful of them. Collected to a degree with the artifacts, like depending on what you scenario is. If you're expecting 2 or 3 side schemes, he can come in and remove 3-4 scheme, no problem. Otherwise, he may be kind of low. Other than that, his stat line is okay. Nothing else too exciting about that. Living Tribunal is the other cosmic entity that we've seen. And this one, same thing, shuffles into the deck, and when it reveals, removes 2 threat from the main scheme. And once again, it goes away for good. So it removes 2 threat eventually. Maybe you don't even need to do it at that point. Who knows? That's why the actual ability is kind of mediocre, but the ability to thin your deck is more important, really, at the end of it. For Justice, we've already seen. Zone of Silence is kind of like the magic attack spell that we've seen. Choose a scheme and discard up to 4 cards and remove threat equal to it. So basically, it can be a 1 for 4 if you're willing to pay the 4 cards from your deck for it. Again, it's another Mystic only card, so either Scarlet Witch, Strange, or Warlock. And the art is really cool, like this kind of riff with all like the mouths and tongues. This looks like the Zone of Silence from the movie and stuff, but this part is really cool. Heroic Intuition, already seen it. Determination. This is the Justice version. So after you spend this card, remove 1 threat from the main scheme. So another way to like remove a little threat while paying for something else. Can't go wrong with that. For leadership, we have Major Victory. 2-cost ally, 1 threat, 1 attack. Also Guardian. When Major Victory is defeated, choose a friendly Guardian character and ready that character. So this is gonna be this is gonna be a very powerful card for Guardian leadership decks. Anybody who plays leadership with any of the Guardian characters, and to make a note, Adam Warlock is a Guardian, so that does count if he can play all the basic Guardian cards. Could definitely use this. So he'll probably see play in that. Outside of that, no. Eternity is the other cosmic entity. This is the one for leadership. Same thing, shuffle it into the deck. And when it reveals, you draw 1 card. I'm not gonna lie, these abilities are not getting any better. 2 cost to draw 1 card eventually. At some point, who knows? Will you need it? Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? No one knows. But again, it's all about thinning out your deck. Summoning Spell. This is another powerful card for leadership for either Adam Warlock or Strange or Scarlet Witch. Discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard an ally, and put that ally into play under your control. So for 2 costs, you get to play an ally for free, basically, but you blow it through your deck until you find one. So technically, it's not bad if you have a bunch of allies in your deck, which obviously you can do with Warlock if you're careful, but this is a pretty powerful card to get anybody out. Captain America is a 6 cost, free, boom. So that's probably one of the more powerful ones compared to like Mystic Attack and Zone of Silence. Those are both pretty good as well, but this one, getting a free ally, is also really, really powerful. Make the call. Inspired, we've already seen. Innovation. This is the leadership one. After you spend this card, heal 1 damage from an ally you control. It's really good. There's a reason why they probably made max 1 per deck as well as the other ones. Being able just to heal an ally so they get a second go or a block is really powerful. So I expect to see these cards in probably most of the aspect decks. For protection, we get Charlie 27. I have no idea who this guy is. 4 cost ally, expensive. 1 threat, 1 attack, 4 health. Guardian with retaliate 1 and toughness. So he's pretty much just a body to block. He can block, he has toughness, he has retaliate, so he can punch back. Other than that, he's just a body really at this point. The Gardener is the last cosmic entity of the 4 aspects. This one, when it flips, heals 2 damage from yourself. That's useful. Probably the most useful one really of the 4. But that's not like by any means a great scale. But it's a 2 for 2 heal. Hopefully you need it at the time, who knows. And then the shield spell is the mystic spell for the protection one. And this is when you would take any amount of damage, discard that many cards from the top of your deck. Prevent all damage from this attack. So you can blow a good chunk of your deck out to absorb all your damage. That is also going to probably be, if you're playing Strange Protection or Scarlet Witch Protection, I can see this card being in your hand, definitely. Definitely. Counterpunch, we've already seen. Armored Vest, we've already seen. And Preservation is the protection one. When you spend it, you heal 1 damage from yourself. So, always good to get the extra health. The basic ally is Martinex. 3 cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 4 health. And you reduce the cost to play him by 1 if your identity has the Guardian trait. So he's a 2 for anybody who's from the Guardians. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's okay. That's a card. 2 costs for 1/1 that has 4 health. I mean, if you buff him, he could be good. But otherwise, he's just doing 1 damage until you block with him, really. Again, not the most exciting. The allies in this set, in Adam Warlock set, hasn't been as exciting as the ones we've seen in like Spectrum set. So let us hop over and see what other cards we have. I believe those are all the cards for Adam Warlock, because obviously he has so many different aspects in his set. So with that, let us look into Adam Warlock. What do we think about Adam Warlock? I think that he has potential. He's definitely probably one of the more unique heroes that we've gotten, with his deck building requirements, the way he wants to blow through his deck. Some of the spells he has are really cool spells. I don't think, except for the resource cards that we get and the mystic spells, the other cards that we got aren't really that exciting. I'm not really bothered by the cosmic entities. They are probably only going to see play in Adam Warlock's deck. I don't see anybody else using them besides him. I think it could work. I guess my only concern I have is you're really focusing a lot on blowing through your deck. But for what? I guess is what I'm trying to like say. Now what could work is like Pip could stay out. Stalwart stays out. The staff stays out. The cape stays out. The ward can get discarded, so that's 2 magic senses stay out. Cosmic Blast does not. So I think you have 3 of those, that's 5. Cosmic Awareness is another 3. Right, 2 Cosmic Awarenesses and 2 Quantum Magics. So that's like 9 cards in his set that don't stay out. So if you play a few of those in his deck out, it means hopefully that whenever you use any of those spell abilities, that you'll hit an aspect, at least 2 aspects, hopefully 3 or 4 to even do more damage. I honestly think the Cosmic Entity cards might be, depending on how you want to play Adam Warlock, like if you want to play into the Spirit, the Soul World card to heal yourself, then you want to use Cosmic Entity, those Cosmic Entity cards to really thin your deck out. But if you're not bothered, remember, by removing that card, that's 1 less aspect card in your deck, which means that's 1 less card for when you flip over for all your other abilities to discard. I mean, honestly, look at Battle Mage, right? Aggression, deal 2 damage to the enemy. Justice, remove 2 threat from the scheme. That's basically what the Cosmic Entity cards do for those 2 aspects anyway. At that point, I may as well just throw them out. Protection heals you for 2. This heals you 1 from an ally. Leadership draws you a card. It's like, it's better off just throwing them to Battle Mage as opposed to actually playing those cards, depending on how you want to play them. So, between Adam Warlock and Spectrum, I'll be honest, I'm definitely more interested in playing Spectrum. I think she's a lot more cooler. The card pool, the Avenger aspect with all the leadership cards and the whole, Mighty Avengers, heroic attack combination potential is definitely seems a better fit. Adam Warlock seems very fiddly, and I don't know if the payoff is worth it. I would compare it to like Star-Lord, where Star-Lord's, having to draw all those encounter cards to make him really powerful is a risky move. But Star-Lord pays you back for it quite quickly. You have 2 or 3 cards out, and all of a sudden, you're doing 11, 14, 15 damage pretty quickly with Star-Lord and all his guns and everything going on. And then you gotta deal with the consequences later. But he has that potential. Adam Warlock's in that like RNG wave, kind of like Scarlet Witch, where it's very dependent on what you flip over. Except in this case, it's more flipping over from your deck as opposed to the encounter deck. So, what do you guys think about Adam Warlock and his cards? Do you like him? Do you think they're better than Spectrum? Do you think he's better than some of the other heroes that we have in Marvel Champions? Let me know down in the comments below. And again, as you guys are watching these videos, I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. If you do, be sure to click the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel for more content. It will be very appreciative if you do that. And I hope you guys stay tuned to our content to watch more of my Marvel Champion videos for the Mad Titan Shadow spoilers that we've gotten this week. Thank you guys.